Hi guys, my name is Nonema Tigela. Welcome to my online space, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. We are busy with the Madlanga Commission currently. According to Masemula, phone records obtained from an attempted murder accused revealed communication implicating Lieutenant General Sibia in the forceful and immediate implementation of the minister's directive to disband the political killings task team. Yabana, that one, I don't know how they are going to get out of. This record suggests that Sibia's actions were not procedural, but rather tied to deeper connections with people identified as members of the cartel. The timing and agency of this compliance appeared to be in line with imperative to shield cartel members from investigation. That's what Masemula says. He said allegations are currently the subject of criminal investigations. Yabona, when it comes to that cartel, I'm sure these people are very scared of that cartel. Masemula repeated Mkwana's testimony that the political killings task team disbanded because it was perceived to be reasonable for the investigation into Ahmad Swart murder and all other cases that have now been linked to it. That investigation has resulted in the arrest of Ket Matlala and Katiso Molife. And then Masemula said evidence has emerged that links Mchunu to Brown Mokgotsi, to Ket Matlala and Lieutenant General Sibia. Matlala's arrest had assisted the police to understand why the political killing system had been disbanded. That's what he said. And then he also said Mchunu, Sibia, Mokgotsi, and Matlala all wanted to disband the political killing system so that they could prevent the investigation against the cartel in Gauteng that are involved in murder, DRUS, and so on. And then Professor Meridi had lodged numerous complaints about the political killings task team, ranging from irregular formation and conduct, malicious arrest and corruption, the use of torture to persecute individuals, political interference and cover-ups, questionable leadership, effectiveness and disappearance of case files. Masemula said that as far as he is aware, none of these complaints had any substance. Okay. And then he said Baloyi then said that the complaints lodged by Dihaz appeared to be serious. She asked whether the police ever investigate such complaints or if they rely solely on IPID to do these investigations. Masemula responded that these matters are investigated and may be referred to the police inspectorate. And then Masemula also said Sibia was investigated in two separate criminal cases, one of which related to surveillance equipment and the other linked to his appointment to the police. In other instances, he was cleared and the NPA elected not to prosecute him. Must be nice. And then Masemula was asked about the evidence that Mchunu had raised the alarm about the 360 million health services contract that Ket Matlala's company had been awarded. He says he didn't get the call from IDEC to say, look, like there is a problem around the awarding of the contract. Oh, he said that he got a call from IDEC to say, look, it looks like there is a problem around the awarding of this contract. He said it emerged that there had not been compliance with the contract, and says Mchunu raised an alarm about how this contract came about. Masemula then said his belief is that Mchunu may not have known that Matlala was linked to the contract. Okay, so at least you can see that these people are not fighting people in jail. They are fighting corruption, not Mchunu. So he can't say Mchunu knew. And then at Mutau asked Masemula if there was anything untoward about Mchunu expressing concern about 360 contract. He again said it is unclear whether Mchunu knew that Matlala was involved in the contract when he raised the concern. And then the other part that was important was that unlike Mkwanazi, Masemula elected not to make claims that IDEC cases against Khumalo and Senior Crime Intelligence official investigation by the Inspector General of Intelligence, and criticism in criminal cases and advance press statements by MPs were all part of a DRUG cartel strategy. So, in a nutshell, what I gathered from Tuesday's Masemula's testimony was that he's not fighting anyone. He just gave testimony of the accounts of things that he saw happening and things that happened in front of him, and he just was not happy with things. And also he did his best to show that Yena, he was there, but it was hard for him. That's what I could also gather from that. He was there, but it was hard for him because, wow, the people that he works with, sure, bulldozers, son. And then the other thing that I also understood was that Umasemula is a very chilled man, very chilled guy. He takes his own time to react to things. He does not react immediately. He does not act also on things as immediate as it needs to be done. He's not like that. So I think one of those things or some of those things are going to put him in trouble, but time will tell. Time will tell what's going to happen. He concluded his testimony. I did not expect it to be done so quick, but it happened. We are going to see who's the witness for today and the way forward. I hope it's Dumisani Khumalo. I want to hear from him. I want to hear what he's got to say about the entire situation. I want to hear about him talking about the Makata issue, because there's a lot that needs to be cleared when it comes to that. And I want to hear him talk about the accusations against him also, if he will be allowed or will be asked questions when it comes to that. I don't know, but we as the country want to know what's going on. Are you Mgulugudu, sir, or not? We are very much interested. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to all of this? Let's talk with comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.